Fight! Hello and welcome to another episode of the N64 Japanesei. Once again we're back to take a look at a Japanese exclusive N64 game with a simple question in mind. Can you play and enjoy this without knowing any Japanese whatsoever? Trying to find a Valentine's Day themed N64 game was quite a challenge, but for those of you who could do with a little help in the dating department, then look no further than Gettārabu, Panda Love Unit. Developed and published by Hudson Soft in late 1998, the game brings the often seedy genre of dating simulation games to the N64. But fear not, whilst there are some more explicit dating sims around, Gettārabu stays on the pure and innocent path and make games more similar to Mario Party than 3D Woman Maker complete with the dodgy USB peripheral. The basic gameplay of Gettārabu consists of picking one of the 7 girls in the game to try and woo into liking and falling in love with you. The 7 girls in the game make up the Panda Love unit which the game's subtitle consists of. Each of the girls are stereotypical and it's quite easy for a Westerner to understand what will make them tick. And then you and your guy friends move around town in a board style gameplay affair, trying to accidentally bump into them to strike up conversations and hapless flirting. It sounds simple, right? Well, Hudson made a big deal out of their system in the game called SAMS. That stands for Simultaneous Activity Map System. Essentially it means that you and your 3 love rivals all move around the map at the same time, and this can lead to some tactical planning as you can try to blow your rivals' chances with the girls. So after you've sweet talked, spent time with, phoned and bent over backwards to get the girl to like you, you then have the pleasure of showering them with expensive gifts and presents. So anyone who's been in a real relationship will love the realism that this game contains. Then when the girl actually likes you enough, she will profess her love to you and the game comes to an end. Thankfully though, there are over 100 secrets in the game to unlock, and because the girls react differently to your methods of advances, there is a surprising amount of replayability as you can try your advances on the different girls in the game. The graphics also really help the game to feel fun and fresh. Most of the game is in 2D, and it showed yet again that the N64 could do some of the best looking 2D graphics of the generation. It's a shame that not more developers took advantage of this and instead tried to push 3D onto everything. But speaking of pushing into 3D, the game's town is in 3D, and whilst it does a job, it's hardly pushing the N64's 3D capabilities. Everything animates well though, and the sheer range of colours and the clarity of the text and images are enough to give this game a strong thumbs up in its visuals. It's not as sharp looking as Wonder Project J2, but it's one of the most interesting Japanese exclusive titles, visually speaking of course. Perhaps though the most enjoyable feature of the game is its music. Personally, I was amazed at how clear and sharp the music is. Everything sounds fun, uplifting, and it actually adds to the overall sense of fun contained in the game. And not only is the music clear, but it's also very well composed. It will actually begin to stick in your mind after a few listens. To be fair, most of it is very J-pop inspired, so if that's not your thing then perhaps you may not enjoy this as much as others. But in a nice touch, each of the girls have their own theme, which surprisingly represents their personal styles very well. The sound effects, whilst used sparingly, are also nicely done and are used to emphasise key moments in the game or to add a little humour where required. All in all, when combined with the impressive visuals, Gettārabu both looks and sounds fantastic and stands out as a unique title on the console. To round this review off, Gettārabu really is a game which you'll need to know Japanese to understand though. The menus and in-game text are all in Japanese, and without knowing what the girls are saying, you'd be hard to gain any satisfaction or understanding of what the heck's going on. The game is still fun to have a quick playthrough though, and you can play the game in a limited sense as the in-game icons make it clear what action you will make, and it's interesting to play just to experience a genre of games which has never really made an impact here in the West. It's quirky, bizarre, contains no inappropriate content, and it's worth checking out even just to see the great anime style graphics contained in the cart. But if you can't speak Japanese, then this really isn't a game which you'll be coming back to time and time again. And so for today's topic of conversation, I'd love to know why you think dating sims seem to only ever do well in Japan. Do you think there's a cultural difference between us and the East which makes people think of dating sims as seedy? Or do you have ideas why this type of game is perfectly acceptable in Japan? As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and until next time.